Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today we are going to be recreating this look right here. I came up with this look simply because Holi did come and go. I know I am far behind the schedule, however this is a look you guys could possibly do for next year's Holi. For you guys that don't know, Holi is a celebration of Thanksgiving for good harvest. It is also a farewell to winter and oncoming spring, and also love and happiness. So if you guys want to learn how I achieved this colorful look, just keep watching. And we're back. So I went ahead and applied my base and brows off camera just to dive right in since I'm so excited for this look. So using the OG palette of Jacklyn Hills, picking up MFEO on any fluffy brush. I tend to do this before any look just because I feel like my lids are lighter compared to my base right now. So I feel like this will just like also set my lids and make it the same shade as my base. So just applying that all over the lid as usual and then blending it out as well. I feel like this will set everything in place, set everything in place. So there you have it. It's become a very neutral shade compared to this lid where it's a lot lighter. So I'm going to do the same thing for this eye. Just blend it out all over. You can also obviously skip this step if you don't require it. It's just honestly a preference of mine because I do feel like my lids are lighter in complexion compared to everything else. Alright, so going in with Jacklyn Hill's second palette, I am just going to keep the lids as simple as possible since we are doing our lower lash line, super dramatic. I'm going to go in with Comfort Zone. That is this shade right here. Pick that up on the same brush. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use the same brush for this. And we are just going to use this as our transition shade. So starting in the outer corner and then bringing it in, staying in the crease, focusing on keeping the lids as neutral as possible since our lower lash line is going to be super blown out. And then I'm just going to pat it along the whole lid so it's nicely blended out, just like that. And then patting it all over the lid when there's barely any product left. So we're going to do the same exact thing for the other eye, picking up that Comfort Zone, starting in the outer corner since that's where I want most of my product to sit at, and then bringing it in slowly and then blending it all over the lid. Honestly, my methods have not really changed at all. So it's just the process is the same over and over again, and it's also just practice. So moving along, I'm going to pick up a Home Body. It is such a beautiful warm brown. I love this shade. I absolutely love this shade. So we are going to go in, keeping with the same brush. Honestly, I don't want to switch around my brushes. I'm just going to do the same exact thing, starting in the outer corner and then bringing it in. Y'all know the deal. If you've seen my other videos, nothing really has changed with these steps. So packing it on, I feel like it's not dying down, so I'm just going to use a paper towel and just wipe away any extra product on that brush. I feel like I did pick up too much. And then going in again to blend this out and just buffing it all out. Honestly, these shades are super creamy. They blend out beautifully. I feel like there's some shades where you leave them sitting on your lids for quite a while. It is so hard to blend out, where these shades just, they're like cream shadows. They blend out absolutely beautifully. So I did go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and I'm just going to do the same exact thing for Homeboy. I'm going to pick it up on a smaller brush since I do want to keep this strictly in the outer corner more so than bringing it in way too much. So I'm just going to pack this on to the outer corner and slightly blend it out. It's just a flat brush, so I'm just going back and forth in the crease. And to blend it all out, I'm gonna use that brush we were using earlier, that rose gold one. And I'm just gonna marry these shades together. So I'm not bringing it in too much. I am strictly just blending it out, making baby circles in the outer corner. And kind of fanning it in to the crease. And that's about it. So that's about it. So doing the same exact thing for the other eye, picking it on that dense brush, packing it on to the outer corner, gently blending it out. And once it's packed on there, using my transition brush and using this to blend it all out. And the whole time, as like, I'm keeping my eyebrows raised so I can get into that crease. Because if you actually just go in like this, you are gonna see lines of concealer or whatever you're using to like your base for your eyeshadow just peeking through once you go like this. So always keep your eyelids flat as possible so you can actually get into those creases. And everything looks beautifully blended out. So I did go ahead and do my liner off camera. However, I did not apply my lashes just yet. We are going to move along to our lower lash line. So I am going to pick up Certified in that same palette. And we are going to just blow this out under... I'm just going to pick up a dense brush, and I'm just going to place this under my lash line, so just blending this out. And this is going to make the shades, color shades that we are going to apply on top appear a lot more vibrant. So that is why I'm going in with the white first. So just applying it all along there. And also taking it up here, just along my wing liner. And do the same thing for the other eye. So just applying it all along your lower lash line. And then bringing it up to that winged liner. I know this looks crazy right now, but it's all gonna fall into place. So I'm gonna start off with this beautiful yellow shade, No Joke, on that same brush. I'm just gonna swirl it around in there, and we are gonna pack it on. Not blend it out, but pack it on. If you blend it out, the shade is gonna start dying down. So I picked up quite a bit of product on that. Ooh. Okay, so I picked up quite a bit of product on that, and I'm gonna start with the inner corners. Usually I start with the outer corners, but with this I'm gonna start with the inner corners. So patting it on along there, and look at that. See, I feel like when you go in with a white shade first and then go in with your vibrant colors, it makes it appear a lot more vibrant. So packing that along there. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the other eye. So picking up quite a bit of product on that small brush and just packing it along here. I'm bringing it down, and the other shade is gonna fall on top since we do want this to look blended out also. Moving along, I am gonna pick up My Man. That's this shade right here. On camera, it looks like a brown. However, in the palette, it is a bright coral orange. It's actually like a bright coral orange, so I'm gonna pick that up on the same brush. And I'm gonna apply that as the next shade and try to blend these two together. So starting on top, you see how I took the orange and, I mean the yellow, sorry, in quite a bit. So I'm just gonna apply it on that. So putting that on top. Like that. So just adding more and more. I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes, that's why I'm like making these weird faces. So doing the same thing for the other eye, applying it on the yellow and then bringing it up. If you do feel like there is a lot of fallout, you can go ahead and set some baking powder under your eye. I'm perfectly fine. I feel like it's doing pretty good so far. All right, moving along next, I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm just gonna pick up Tipsy Girl. It's a pinky purple, so packing it onto that, I'm gonna drop this right onto that orange. Ooh, I feel like this is gonna have fallout. So dropping that onto the orange and bringing it out. So I am bringing the shade out quite a bit, but then applying it on top so it looks smoothly blended out. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the other eye. So see how the orange, I brought it out a lot further. So I'm dropping it onto that orange. And that's gonna make it look all pretty and blended out. All right, moving along next, I'm gonna pick up Not My Journey. That is this beautiful dark purple, I was gonna say orange, dark purple shade right here. Onto that same brush. I'm not gonna switch out my brush. So applying that on top of, I forgot what I used, Tipsy Girl. So applying that onto Tipsy Girl. So we're going darker and darker. So just like that, doing the same thing for the other eye. This is such a beautiful purple. So dropping that onto Tipsy Girl and bringing it up. So with Jaclyn Hill's OG palette, I'm gonna pick up this turquoise shade right here, Jada, on that brush. So packing it onto that. And we are gonna apply that near the end, so onto that purple shade we set down. Applying Jada. So just like that. It's gone into a really nice blue. And I'm flicking it out under the eyeliner. I do have one more shade I'm gonna go in with. So I'm gonna pick up the Anastasia Norvina 3 Volume Palette. I'm gonna use this shade right here. E1 on that same brush. No, not the same brush. Since we are gonna have to do this tight along there, I'm gonna actually use a very flat brush. So I'm just gonna go in with an angled flat brush because I want it right under my eyeliner. So I'm gonna pick that up on there, flat against that. And we're gonna use this right under this liner. So packing it onto there and bringing it in under the liner. So it's just like that. Same thing for the other eye. So tight along under the liner. and flick it out. So I applied my lashes, liner, and mascara off camera, and we're gonna move along. So I'm gonna use I'm in It from the Jaclyn Hill second palette, and I'm gonna use this as the inner corner highlight. So it appears as like a white shade on camera. It is this shade right here. However, it is a beautiful lilac-y highlight shade. So I'm actually gonna swatch this guy for you. So that's how it appears on the finger. It is a beautiful lilac-y highlight. So I can't. Okay, let's try this again. So just on the back of my hand. So it's like a really nice purple shimmer shade. So I'm gonna actually use that as the inner corner highlight since we're super colorful already. Why not? So I'm just gonna pick up a pencil brush. Sorry, there's a lot of fallout. So pick up a pencil brush and just onto there. I'm gonna drop this into the inner corner of my eyes. Ooh, I'm totally into the shade. So it's like a nice purple tint of highlight, and then just bringing it up, because I just hate a clump of highlight sitting in the tear ducts of my eyes, so I like to blend it out, sort of, up and out. I am gonna actually brighten up the inner corners of my eyes with the highlight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Flash palette, Jaclyn Hill also, and I'm just gonna pick up a Gleam on that same brush. I just want it more intense. I feel like this gives it a nice shimmer. However, it would be beautiful for the summertime. So I'm just gonna use that and pop it just strictly in the inner corner. So same thing for the other eye. And I am actually gonna use the same palette for my brow highlight also. So using the same palette, I'm gonna pick up Iced on that same brush and hitting the brow bones. Y'all, this highlight though, this palette, every time I use it, oh, it's freaking amazing. Before I go ahead and actually highlight my life away, I am gonna bronze. So I'm just gonna pick up a fluffy, it's kind of a flat, dense-ish brush. I'm gonna use this for my bronze. With my Tarte bronzer, I'm just gonna bronze all over, starting with my cheek. So just from here, all along my forehead. And bringing it all along to the other side. So I went ahead, contoured my nose, and I've set a baking powder under my cheeks. So I'm just gonna let that sit, and until then, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my nose. So I'm gonna use the Jaclyn Hill High Vault Loose Highlighter, and I'm gonna use a liner brush actually to highlight my nose. So picking that up on the liner brush, I'm gonna hit this duck area, this little dented area in between the eyes. So just there. Picking up more, bring it down. So I'm skipping space, bringing it down on the bridge of my nose. So, and look how beaming this highlighter is. And then skipping a space again, and then just the tip of my nose. Just like so. And then I'm just gonna use my pinky, kind of pat it and blend it all out. And we're just going to clean up all this baking powder. It's been sitting there for quite a while. So I feel like this is too harsh. So as I'm cleaning it up, I just go over all that too. And it blends it out nicely. There you go. So it's not as harsh anymore. So doing the same thing for the other side. Wiping away all that baking powder and then bringing it up and just going over my contoured area. Alright, we are going to move along with blush. Usually I use my Melba blush, my go-to blush. However, just to keep everything neutral, that is a little too pinky for me right now for this look. I'm going to use, it is a MAC blush. However, I am unfortunately not sure what this shade is called. It's under the pan and it is going to be to try to get this out. So I'm just going to use my blush brush, pick that up, smiling, hit your cheekbones, and then I'm gonna bring it up to blend it out. And it's such a beautiful brownie blush, so it's super neutral. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So you can, so I actually didn't realize as I was dipping into my blush, I hit that shade right there, So I'm gonna swap out my blush. Thank God it actually did come off. I'm gonna use a different brush now. So swirling that around in there. Doing the same thing we did for the other cheek. That's my favorite blush brush. This just doesn't feel right. And there you guys have it, the completed look. I decided to stick to a neutral lip shade since my eyes are out there. So I'm wearing Ashton by Anastasia, and I went over it with a matte gloss. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what that gloss is called. However, I will link it in the description box below. I also decided to put on cute little dangling earrings, and I went ahead and popped on a bindi just to complete the look further. I do really hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you guys did, please give this video a thumbs up and also leave a comment in the comment section below because I would love to hear what kind of videos you would like to see from me in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.